let's get a bit away from the past. We've been talking a lot about, how you kind of got to where you are today, but let's get to where you are today. You're in a welterweight title fight, combat night, March 23rd against Daniel Morrison, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that matchup. You were in combat night before. How'd you end up back there? And just, what are you expecting in this fight? Are you happy to be fighting for a title?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm happy to be fighting for it. One thing that I've been trying to practice a little bit more is gratefulness and just grateful for opportunities. I have high expectations for myself. So it's like I want a belt in the biggest organizations. But I also have to understand that having a belt in combat night is also still big. Not everybody gets one. Not everybody gets to fight for a pro title in their career. There's a lot of people in the UFC that was like, I was never a champ in any professional organization. Yeah, we're all chasing one thing, but who doesn't want to be a champion? The same way it's like tournaments. It's like who doesn't want to be like wrestling tournaments, judo tournaments, whatever it is. Who doesn't want to be able to just say, "Hey, I was the best this day, whatever." For this tournament, I was the best. I was able to beat. It's an accolade, and the way I look at it is just a way to further separate myself from other fighters. Um, and yeah, look forward to the matchup. Just have a tough opponent. Um, and he's game, but like how do I say it? Everyone is game in MMA for the most part.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, I've proven time and time again how game I am. And I fought some tough people. I fought some tough people starting back as an amateur. I've had ups and downs, more ups than downs, but I still had ups and downs. And that's what I feel like I'm bringing. It's like people can't handle that.
Yeah.
Is I just fought someone who was undefeated, never lost an MMA fight at all. And it was one of my worst performances just in terms of I just wasn't operating right. And he was given everything, and that wasn't enough. And it's like, and they always say on your worst day, you should still be able to beat someone on their best day.
Yeah.
And, I was taken down in the first round, but person wasn't able to, which is no disrespect to him
Hmm.
because I really liked my
Nick.
last opponent.
Yeah.
We talked, yeah, we talked after the fight. We even had like a beer together and all that
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can get something on me. You can take me down, but can you keep me there?
Yeah.
Or if you keep me there, how exhausted are you going to be after trying
Yeah.
to
Will
keep
you
me
be
from
able to
moving?
keep me back down in the next round, in the next round? And
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's where it was. Is like just with me being resilient, I was able to almost like take his cardio away just because I was like, I'm not stopping. It's like, I'm going to get up. It's going to happen. You take me down three times, I'm getting up four. And then it's going to get harder and harder. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, you can do whatever you want. I'm still here. And I take that mentality of, I'm going to be here until something happens. It's like, until more than likely I put you out, fuck you up, or I somehow get put out. And that's just that mentality that I go in to those fights. So with this fight, I still look at it the same way. It's like, I have a game opponent. Yes. I have talented opponent. I can say that too, scrappy, but I'm all of those as well. And I've proven it time and time again.
Yeah.
Talent, athleticism, and confidence. If there's one thing that I don't lack, it's definitely confidence. And the big most important thing is I truly do like to fuck people up. It's like it's in my style, the way that I go about it. Almost all my wins in MMA in general are finishes.
Yep.
It's like I have nine finishes as a pro out of my 10 wins.
Yeah. And your
And
only
then
decision is your last
amateur,
fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the first time. And it's
Yeah.
just like, if you look at it, I have three decisions total in MMA.
Hmm.
Everything else was either a finish. And I've had more fights go past this first round, which is crazy because it's like out of 15 fights, only a few fights go past the second round.
Hmm.
And I had my fight against Austin Trotman, which went all the way. I had fighting against Tyson Jeffries, which ended right before the third round. and then my fight against Nick Meck. So that's three fights recently where I've been getting that experience.
Yeah, you've been getting pushed a bit more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's not anything that's like broken me. It's like, okay, learn now. I go and reapply. I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like my experience and my cage time is actually my talent and cage time are starting to catch up to each other. It's like talented enough to take people out of there quick without I'm not a fast starter by any means, but it's like I was able to take people out of there. So I wasn't able to get my cage time to match what I was capable of doing. Now it's like I've been having those 15-minute fights or 12 minutes into a fight, getting those grueling fights where it's now like I'm already a dangerous person. Now I'm getting that extra experience to really figure it out, which I'm like, bro, it's going to be hard for people to deal with that. I've always been hard to deal with, but now it's like I have the experience. It's almost like learning the
Yeah, no,
controls.
you're rounding out your game. Just like you're getting a lot more well-rounded as you fight more and just as you go deeper into these fights against better fighters and just yeah, you're just, just basically just becoming a more complete fighter.
Yeah. So with that, it's like I've made it up in my mind. It's like I'm going to win. I'm going to get the title. It's going to be a great fight, but it stealing something from teammate Jason Jackson, like the way he said it was just like there's nothing more dangerous than a man who's made up his mind. And it's like I've made my mind up. I'm going to show just how good I am. And I'm not putting emphasis, like I'm not obsessing over the outcome like Kobe would talk about. It's like I'm more about the process, but I believe and I trust in the process that I'm taking, and I am therefore confident that I will get that win.
Hell yeah. I mean, couldn't have said that any better, honestly, seriously. Just being in such a
That
good
can be
spot.
a part of the real.
All right. All right.
But
I'll take your advice on that one. I can't turn it down when a fighter tells me what they want to be posted. So
I was just being funny. I
no,
was like,
no, no, I know.
it's like when you say something, it's like, and scene. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, no,
Boom.
you're right though. You're right though. I mean, like you said, it just that was very well said. Like, just I don't even know what to add on to that. I mean, you basically just said what needed to be said. I don't even know. But okay, so I have two last questions for you. Kind of a little bit more like funny, I guess. I don't know, just like a little bit like different. You have a really good taste in music. I mean, dancing to the baby in the cage and stuff like that, doing the baby dance. So you saw everyone getting hyped up to like Walker Texas Ranger backstage for one of the fights and stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you guys get lit. Like like you have a great taste in music. So I wanted to ask, with rap kind of being a little bit more, I don't know. I feel like it's not as good at the moment. I don't know if you agree, but kind of what are you listening to right now, and just like what is some stuff that you normally would be listening to?
Um, Good question. So I agree and disagree, and this is my reason. I think rap is a lot more watered down these
Okay.
days, and it's because of oversaturation. Now anybody can get on and upload their music, and maybe I'm starting to sound like a unk, you know?
Like an old head, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, there's definitely songs I'm like, yo, beat is going crazy.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of good stuff out there, but I feel like because of that oversaturation and it's a lot easier to become someone without having a talent.
Okay.
Before, I think in the older days, you had to be talented or good at something, have connects. Connects is always important, but
Yeah.
if you were on the radio, you were at least pretty
Yeah, there was
decent.
a reason you were on the radio.
Yeah, and now it's a lot easier because all you have to do is just go viral on TikTok and boom, now people are all singing your they're singing your song because it's catchy. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of I hate where a lot of things are going because you can see it with social media
Hmm.
and it sounds like I'm a hater, but it's all about attention grabs, hook, catchiness. That's it. If you can
Yeah.
grab people's short attention spans, because people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and
Hell
shorter,
yeah.
and you're seeing it with how they try to engage with people and use different voices. Like, hey, we're trying to grab people. We don't want people that actually like this stuff and looking for it. But long story short, I always have like a long ass answer because I always feel like these things are complex. But
I love your answer.
um,
So
rap, there's still a lot of great rappers,
mhm.
but you have to search a little bit harder now to find them. You have to look a little bit harder to find good music because now there's music everywhere.
Oh.
And it's like I said, that oversaturation can create, and I guess I'd say
Dilute.
can create it, yeah, dilute and create an environment in which you think that the genre itself has gone down, but no, there's still people holding the torch, keeping it up. But you're just gonna have to look for them because they're definitely not getting on the radio now. With
Gotcha.
everyone wanting catchy shit, they're not gonna be on the radio.
Yeah, it makes complete
So,
sense.
with that being said, a rapper that I've been listening to heavy recently is Big X the Plug, out from Texas.
He's a
I've
beast.
always been, yeah, I've always loved Texas music for some reason. I
Okay.
don't know what it is. Like the Southern rap, I've always been a fan of rap, but Southern rap, like T.I., Young Jeezy, Gucci Mane,
Hmm.
maybe Gucci Mane isn't the most lyrical, but either way, I don't care. But like Outkast, UGK, always been a big UGK fan.
Okay.
And then you got the boys down in Houston, like Paul Wall, Chameleon there, used to listen to his mixtapes.
Okay.
That Texas sound is just different.
Yeah, you just
Um,
like that kind of style.
yeah, and the Texas style, Southern style, it's like some people, or I don't want, damn it, I, 3 6 Mafia, but then oh, it's like Trick Daddy, and there's another rapper. I can't believe I forgot his name. Um, and it's gonna kill me until I'm able to think about it because I get stuck on these things, and then I won't be able
You won't
to.
be able to focus on anything until you
Yeah,
forget.
Project Pat.
Okay.
Project Pat.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to
How'd
say.
you forget
Because
that? You're talking to Pat right now.
yeah, my bad. I should just look. But Project Pat, it's actually super underrated.
Mhm.
But I love like that. I guess you could say almost like strip club sounding music, chilling music, club music. But they could all rap still.
Okay.
Project Pat has influenced the game a lot. So a lot of my favorite rappers usually were from the South, and so it should make sense. It's like Big X the Plug. I've been listening to a lot, probably more than any other rapper.
Okay.
And then Mexican OT.
I was
He's
waiting
another
for you to
rapper I
say him.
like.
I was waiting for you to say him, to be honest.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, Mexican OT is like one of my newest favorites. And then I heard Big X the Plug on his song. And I was like, okay, I have that switch. Big X the Plug right now, hottest rapper in my mind. Mexican OT after. He's not as new, but Isaiah Rashad.
Oh, yeah.
He's been out for a little bit. I love Benny the Butcher. He's Buffalo, New
He's
York
great.
guy,
Yeah,
but
he's great.
yeah, it's not nothing crazy, but it's just like he's giving you bars, he's rapping.
Always.
It's I love that gritty
I'm
mafia
from Jersey,
gang
so
music.
kind
Okay,
of familiar with all that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then JID.
Oh,
I've been listening to him since
his lyrical like flow is absurd.
crazy.
Absurd.
Wordplay is crazy. The
Wild.
spitting out words like that, and those are newer rappers.
Hmm.
Or of course, everyone like J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers. He's been one of my favorite rappers since I was in high school. Kendrick Lamar is also one of my favorites. Now, I can't say that I listen to Kendrick like I listen to Drake, not Drake, listen to J. Cole
Well, he's just not,
because
Kendrick's not meant to be listened to like that, like in that sense.
yeah,
He's more of like you need to really sit down and like pay attention to like the story he's telling, if you get what I'm saying.
exactly. He's like everyone is an artist, but he is an artist. Like he
Yeah.
does different voice inflections. Like
Hmm.
how I would almost explain it's like he is very much like it's I'm not an expert with music, but when I think of music, it's like you have ups, you have downs, you have plateaus. It's constantly changing. So I look at him as a very creative artist.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone's an artist, but he's extremely creative. He's always doing different voices. He's changing up his projects. He has different mindsets. You can tell
Different
he puts,
styles. Yeah, he's just all
yeah,
over the place in a good
he's
way.
always
In a good
doing
way.
something different. Yeah,
Yeah.
all over the place. But I still end up gravitating more towards J. Cole
Mm.
because I feel like personally how I see things might be more of like a J. Cole standard because I'm not
Okay.
fully experimenting with everything like a Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar to me is like he is in terms of like MM, I don't know if I should say MMA, but you can almost say like to a degree flamboyant. And where I say he's just like he just does different stuff. Like he's out there, he's testing different things. He is a true musician.
Yeah.
Like they all are, but he is really just out there doing it, mixing sound, doing things where a lot of times there's like people will be like, what the hell is with Kendrick Lamar's voice? Like, why is he doing that? But it works. And I think that's one of those things with you don't get out of all rappers all the time where people are like, why are you doing that voice? Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like he went from dropping Good Kid, Mad City, and then what was it right after To Pimp a Butterfly or was it Untitled?
Ooh.
One of those came.
I
I don't
think it
remember which
was
one
To
came
Pimp a
after.
Butterfly after, and then I think
Yeah,
Untitled was after that, but I could be wrong.
yeah. And then he had Damn,
Hmm.
and then he had was it what was his last album called?
I don't know,
I
but
like that
he
one
had
a
the
lot.
Black Panther one too. He was like heavily featured
That
on, which was
one
crazy.
was
He went
good, yeah.
crazy on that Black Panther album, man.
Mr. Morale and the Six
Yes,
Steppers.
yes,
It's he's always giving something different,
yes.
and not everybody's gonna like it. So it's
Hmm.
like I respect the hell out of his, I guess you'd say ambition to always like reach a new plateau.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of my favorites. I'm also a huge Beyonce fan.
Oh,
Like
I know you
I love
posted. I know you
Beyonce.
posted something with SZA one time too. I'm not sure how much of a
Oh,
fan you
SZA,
are.
yeah, love
She's
SZA.
good. She's good.
Control, one of the albums me and my wife we listen to and we
Hmm.
blast that shit and listen, singing together. And then her other album, SOS,
Hmm.
another amazing album. Love her.
Not a fan of Megan
But
Thee
yeah, Beyond
Stallion or Glorilla or any of the.
here. I love Glorilla.
You
I
do?
love
Yeah.
at least
She's
yeah.
catchy. I like her too.
Megan Thee Stallion, I always it sounds weird, but I'm like, her music isn't what I'm like my cup of tea. There's certain songs where I'm like, I rock with this song, but I respect her ability to rap. Like, I'll always watch a Megan Thee Stallion freestyle,
Okay.
like all of the time. Like, if she's freestyling, I'm going to listen. Like, she used to do her like Friday freestyle, something like that.
Oh,
She'd
okay.
be like outside just rapping. She can rap her ass off. Like, I know she can rap, and I like when she raps. It's just her
Her
songs aren't
songs don't
always.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's like this isn't one of my songs that I care to listen to, but because I respect her ability, I'm like, you're still a great artist.
Yeah.
It's like if if I had an opportunity to go to Megan Thee Stallion concert, yeah, sure. It's like I'm sure I would enjoy myself, but she she is great. But yeah, definitely I'd say those rappers I listed, J. Cole, um, Drake is I still like Drake, but after What a Time to Be Alive, I slowly like stopped getting as excited to listen to him because I'm like,
I
it's
feel
like you're
I
gonna
feel that because you've been listening to Drake for a little bit longer than me, right? But like his past like three albums, I haven't cared for like at all. It's like ever like I feel like there's a certain time when everyone kind of like grows away from Drake a little bit. Obviously, he's still got his catchy songs and whatever, but
hmm
like after a little bit, like it gets a little bit old. You know what I mean?
yeah, because he's always out. Like
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like he never has given us time to miss him.
yeah.
And I feel like I've been listening to Drake since 2009, 2000. Oh, actually maybe earlier, 2008. Whenever Replacement Girl with Trey Songz came out.
Who? Okay.
Um, so I've been listening to Drake since then, his mixtapes and all that. And it's like Drake is on fire. It's like he's the next one to come up. Then he is
Hmm.
the next one, and then he's the one, you know. And then he drops "Thank Me Later."
Hmm.
Well, was it "Thank Me Now"? "Thank Me Later," whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then "Nothing Was the Same."
Hmm.
Hands down, my favorite Drake album.
Okay.
Like that one is a classic to me. And then he had "If You're Reading This, It's Too Late," another good one. And then he dropped "What a Time to Be Alive with Future," 2015, a great one. But then I think Passion Fruit was it? Wait, no, not Passion Fruit. More Life.
Mm.
I think More Life came after, which was good. Like Views, More Life, like that was good. But I think at that point I was kind of just like,
Over it.
I
Yeah.
think Views was the last project where I'm like, okay, I actually like majority of these songs. And then after that, I was just like, eh. It's like I moved on. Like I started listening to way more J. Cole than Drake, just because I felt like at where I was getting to in my personal life and all that, I was more on like a J. Cole type thing. I
Yeah.
wasn't really caring to hear Drake as much, but I'll still give him his credit. Like,
Hell yeah.
bro, for 10 years, I was listening to your music like crazy. So, and still to this day, you're still one of my top listened to artists because you consistently drop catchy or a good song here and there.
Yeah, and he still has all the classics that you still want to listen to as well. So yeah,
Exactly.
no, Drake for me, I don't want to say for 100% sure, but it was either Bedrock, Young Money, when they were like
Bedrock, yeah.
when they had the
Nicki
whole
Minaj.
yeah, when they had the whole Young Money thing going on, it was either Bedrock or it was Find Your Love. One of those two. I was like 8, 9 years old, sitting in my room, sneaking onto like Vivo on demand, listening to the watching the music videos and stuff. And like, my parents obviously didn't want me listening to that shit for obvious reasons, but I would listen to like every girl in the world and shit, you know what I mean? Like all the shit I shouldn't have been listening to at that age. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, my introduction to Drake was around that time. I'd say is like the Young Money time, the Find Your Love time, like that time.
yeah. That was good times.
Very good times.
Good
I
times.
was a baby, but very good times.
Yeah. I it's funny because I forget where so I think Find Your Love. I don't remember at what point. Bedrock. Sometime after that is like was when I started driving,
Okay.
like 16, 17 or something
Hmm.
like that. So for me, I feel like life is always different. Like certain songs hold different uh meanings for
Yes.
you when you've been driving, when you've been doing stuff. Because what do like
Big moment in your
teenagers are
life. Yeah.
always, yeah, teenagers are always gonna be getting into shit, and your feelings are going crazy, hormones and all that shit. And you're listening to music, feeling the lyrics to the song
Yeah.
even harder when it's like, bruh, like almost an over dramatization of our life with music. It's
Hmm.
like was it Drake and Drive was a big thing
Yeah, no, I got into my
at that
first car
time.
accident with the baby playing in the background, and now like that's all I can think of when sometimes when like that song comes on. I forget exactly which one it was, but it was one of the baby songs. Got into like a car accident. I'm sitting there, blood gushing out of my nose, like half concussed in the back seat, and all I hear is the baby just popping off, and I'm like, bro, come on! It's like not the damn time, not the damn time, man.
Like this couldn't have turned off.
Yeah, right, right. I don't know if you ever saw the kid that makes the memes. He what's it? Like, is this what happens when you're in a car accident? He's like upside down in a car and it's like the music playing and he's just sitting there like laying down, bro. There's this funny little kid. I gotta send you him after this. Seriously,
I feel like
you'd
I,
enjoy him.
yeah,
You'd enjoy him
send me that one.
for sure,
Send me
for
that.
sure. But speaking of a little bit more into that, you have a very like funny and like playful side to you that you show consistently on social media. I mean, all the memes you post and everything. By the way, she did not say knitter. She did not say knitter. There's no chance she said knitter. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what that was. So so one, I'm with you there, but no, so you kind of like, you like make memes off of memes, you make your own memes, like you're very funny. We talked about this before. You're a very funny guy. So just kind of talk to me, dancing in the cage and everything, like just talk to me about that side of yourself a little bit, and just why you kind of show that side more, because you did say you're introverted, but we kind of do see that side a lot on social media and in the cage.
Yeah, I feel like how do I explain it? Because I've definitely thought about it, like during some self-reflection. I feel like the side that I even show, like the goofy side,
Mm-hmm.
there's even more to that. But that's usually like that's a little bit more personal. I keep that between like really close family members, and like my wife and sister, whatever it is. Like only certain people get to see like my super outrageous side. But um, you're just saying like explain a little bit more about like why like about that side,
Yeah,
right?
just talk about that like side of you a bit, and just like
Oh,
why you decided that like you wanted to like show it off, I guess.
I think just because it's me, I have I'm goofy. Like I really can't help it. People might not think that when they first see me because I am a little bit more quiet, but
Mhm.
like how I was raised was just to be a little bit more like observant because you can't be joking around with everybody. Um, you joke around with people too early, and then they start thinking you're a clown,
Yeah.
and then you have to like check them on that. And it's just one of those things. Like my parents always taught me, like not everybody's your friend. Not everybody you can like. You should have your guard up around people. Like protect yourself. Don't be too comfortable around people. So I think that's why there's a reserved side to me. Like if you see me in public, more than likely I'm not going to be goofy. Like I might tell some jokes, but most people always say it's like, oh, like when I first saw you, I thought you were hard to approach,
Okay.
and you look like you didn't want to be like bothered. And that's just kind of like my natural face.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Um,
like you. Yeah.
yeah, I just look like that, but really I've kind of always been like that as a kid. Like I always loved laughing, loved comedy, was like one of my favorite shows, like Animaniacs, all the Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, like imitating their yell, watching I don't know how I ended up getting this VHS, but a VHS of Eddie Murphy SNL stuff, different comedies. Used to watch a lot of Sanford and Son. Just
Okay.
I was watching a lot of comedy, and I've always loved just humor.
Yeah, just being
That's
funny.
always been my thing, and I think for me, a lot of things how I dealt with a lot was making jokes, um, seeing the funny side of everything, and like I've asked like my family members, they're like, "Bro, you always like to laugh. Like you've always been a jokester, you little mischievous." It's like I could always see that side in you. So I think it's really just me showing, like me just being me. You know, there's times where I'm feeling a little bit more serious, but when I think about it, it's like a lot of the stuff I post, like even captions, I'm like making a joke. It's like
Okay.
I'm very serious, but then not,
Hmm.
and I I like turn that switch on and off. But
I think
most
it's
of the
great.
time, man, I'm I'm gonna be laughing. Like that is really what I do. Um, like me and my wife, we just sit there crack jokes all the time. Like
Yeah, you guys are just
Gerald,
goofy with each other.
yeah, Gerald and Biggie. We all live with each other. So
Okay.
me, Gerald, Biggie, and my wife at well, we were just dating at that time. But we all live with each other like a family. And sometimes they're like, yo, it's 6 in the morning. Shut the fuck up.
And y'all just
It's like,
being stupid. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like we do dumb shit with each other, have dumb
Yeah.
jokes. Me and my little brother, Noah, always just been goofy. Me and Delancey, goofy. It's just
That
how it
yeah,
is,
that's just who
man.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't really hide it.
Hmm.
I think I can be a little bit more reserved sometimes because it's always one of those things where it's like I know my goofiness may not be right for this moment,
Yeah, it might not be taken the
or
right way, and like by
yeah,
certain
not
people in the certain in a certain place. Like, yeah.
yeah. It's like you don't know me, so a lot of times, especially with like I say within the culture or whatever, just like Haitian culture, it's like, yo, I don't know you. Like, why the fuck are you making jokes? It's like this, we ain't like we're not cool like that. So it, I guess, just naturally, just like being a Caribbean man, Caribbean person, I'm gonna be observant. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna gauge the situation. My parents always told me that's like be smart when you first enter situations. Like judge everything, gauge people's personalities, and then over time you can start like letting them see a little bit more of yourself. So I think that's really just like a culture thing.
Okay.
And I just can't be goofy with everybody. But
Makes sense.
I think on social media it's easy because it's like you don't know me. And I kind of have that. It's an easy distinction for me to make that decision. It's like y'all don't know me. You're just seeing what I post. So I don't care if you think that, oh, it's like this guy's just goofy. If I met him, bro, if you meet me and I'm not on that, it's like that's on you for thinking social media is all real life because
Yeah.
every funny person, whatever it is, can also be having like a bad day or
Of course.
maybe just a little bit more quiet. So I've had people be like, "Oh, it's like man, what?" It's like you're a little funnier on like on the internet. How come you're not? I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you just expect me to get up and start shucking and jiving and telling
Yeah.
jokes right off the? It's like, no, I'm in the gym. I'm training. It's like maybe after I'll tell some jokes, but yeah, it's one of those things. Just I have a every person has different sides of their personality. It's like everyone is complex, and yeah, I might be a goofy guy, but I'm also reserved,
Yeah,
and
you
I
have a
think that's just
reserve
my
side to
introvert
you
side.
too. Yeah, you have the reserve
Yeah.
side, you have the goofy side. I'm sure you have another side too, like the like, all multiple personalities, maybe a bit bipolar. No, no, I'm messing
It's
with
like
you.
you can think, wake
Yeah.
me up from a nap, bro, and I'm a different like sleep, one thing.
Hmm.
Nap, if you wake me up from a nap, I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, it sets me off. Like there are
Okay.
certain things where it's like my friends used to joke and say, it's like, bro, you could
I'm
be
kind of like
volatile
that too.
sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of like
Yeah,
that too. Like my mom will make me up from a nap. I'll be like, go away. I'm still sleeping.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm like if I have like 7, 8 hours, you can wake me up and I won't be mad. It's like it's those short 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you wake me up. I'm enraged, man. But I have a pretty good I have a pretty good control. I have pretty good control of my anger
And just
flare
your
ups.
emotions in general. Yeah.
Yeah, in which I think one of the things like I joke, it's like the Hulk,
Yeah.
where they're like, "What's the secret?" He's like, "I'm always angry." Like in my head, in my body, it's like yeah, I'm probably always at like a level to where I could flare up,
Okay.
but that's not that's not necessary. That's not mature. That's not how you go through life. And I would much rather just laugh at shit
Yeah.
and move on. So I think my humor is also a way that I've learned how to deal with like my own internal anger, I guess you
Okay.
could say, and using it in a productive manner. Because I always just want to be more productive than anything. Anger
Okay.
costs you stuff,
Yeah.
costs you relationships, can get you in jail, get you charges, whatever it is. So it's like I'd rather just go the funny route, you know?
Yeah. No, definitely. All right. Well, JP, I mean, we talked for long enough. That's it for me, man. I really appreciate the interview. Everyone, please go check out JP St. Louis's interview. JP St. Louis's fight on March 23rd, Combat Night. Daniel Morrison. Title fight, baby. Time to get that belt.
Hell yeah.
Time to get that
Hell
gold.
yeah. Getting that shit.
Yes, sir. All right. JP, I appreciate you, man. Seriously. Have a great one.
All right, thank you. You too. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed the time.
I did too.